Hey guys, KC Jilly here. I don't know if you can see what I'm walking into, but I can't even walk through it anymore. So today is the day that I've got to get in here and thin some of this stuff out. So let me clean this up a little bit. I don't want to, but I just don't have the capability of bundling stuff up anymore. So I'm gonna thin this stuff out a little bit now that my bottom tomatoes are made. Get it to where I can walk through here and let you guys see how this goes. You see what I mean? Let me get out of the way. I mean, there's almost corn to the ceiling now, so I'm gonna get her done and let's see what it looks like at the end. And I don't want to get super aggressive here, but I need to open up a little air in here. It's getting hot. When I walked up to the door, it said 110 degrees. I do not have a shade cloth on, and I'm gonna try not to put one on until I see some damage. It's hot in the greenhouse. Whew. Break time. All right, guys, my break time's about over. I finally cooled off a little bit. It took me an hour to get that one side trimmed up, and I'll show you what it looks like now. All right, so you can see this side, you can walk in here and see. You can breathe again. I won't even admit to how many sun golds was lost in the making of this video, but it is what it is. Look here. Okay, that's good. I had to get it up though, guys. I couldn't breathe. I noticed some of my stuff over here. That's all I'm gonna trim up in this stuff right now. But you can see that sure opened it up. Now I noticed right in here, this little beefsteak was suffering a little bit. It needed air really bad. And now you can just differentiate my peppers here. They can have a little bit of sun. I've got them trailing all the way over, including watermelons too. They're trailing down. So now let me see what I can do with this jungle, and I'll bring you guys back. And I harvested a few little things I found throughout. Took me 2.5 hours. That's how long it took to get all that stuff out of here. So let me show you what's up now. Okay, so there's my pinto beans. They were wrapped up in there, which I didn't have a problem with. You couldn't even see them anymore. Couldn't even see the basil either. You can see, you can kind of see in there. I can breathe a lot better in here now. Dad burned before. Wow. Couple of peppers, and I noticed, I thought this was a bell pepper, but look, it can't be a bell pepper. I don't know what I've got here. So I'm excited to see what happens. My Egyptian spinach is doing just fine right here. And the green beans, I laid them all back over in there now. You can see I had quite a bit of them ready. A couple of pink Berkeley tie-dye were blushing, so I'm gonna go ahead and take them to the house. This dadgum thermostat was on the door with the sun shining right on it. It was 135 degrees a minute ago. I just brought it in here to see if it see what temperature it is down here low. But now, I mean, I can feel much more air in here. I can breathe. It's so nice. Look at all these pretty clusters. We got all different kinds of some paste tomatoes. So much better. I can see what's going on in there and breathe. Got some pretty good sized stuff in here. Look at all them, gosh almighty. You can see my peppers again. They're standing out independent finally. Gonna get a little bit more sun. They needed that. This last one hanging down there with the watermelons. On this side, all of the cabbage and the cauliflower and the broccoli, you can see the evidence that they were once there, the cut stumps. They were chewed all to pieces and had caterpillars and bugs all over them. And I will suggest, if I were people who's gardening for the first time and you didn't know, if you've got some winter stuff left over, I'd leave it. Just leave it, because all the bugs go for the weak stuff. So they tear that stuff up and stay off of the tomatoes. I smashed them with my fingers, what caterpillars and such that I saw. But see, and I didn't take out the whole tops of the canopies there. I want to let them start back over doing what just happened down here on the bottom. So like I say, this is my second year. Y'all, these dadgum Ananas Noir are so big. They're not even close to ready. Look over here at this one. I don't know if you can see my hand, how big that thing is back there. Heavy, oh my gosh. So what I was gonna say, I'm sorry, is my suggestion is now, in year 2, that if for some reason you have the urge to prune like crazy, because I'm horrible about it, and I thought it was helping me last year, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. I believe until they're pretty fully loaded and they almost can't breathe and they're choking, you need to leave them alone as long as you can. And when it finally comes to a point where everything's just falling over on itself and you can't get up in there anymore, that's the time, in my opinion, where you go ahead and prune like you see on all the videos. You know, I watch all these videos and it looks so much cleaner when those guys stake them up a pole or with the string, and man, it looks so nice. But theirs has all those tomatoes, and when I tried it, I mean, I had tomatoes, but I didn't have tomatoes like this. And so what I think is they're smarter than me, and they just didn't show all the pruning process. They tell you they prune like that, but they don't show you in the middle where it's real hairy, because I think it takes all those leaves, not only blocking the sun, but also to give it enough juice to make all that fruit. So that's my 2 cents. Try to leave it alone as long as you can, and when it comes time and you can't help it anymore, get in there and get after it. And so now I'm just pretty much waiting on all this stuff to go ahead and ripen a little bit. When I see some color, I'm gonna start robbing them. But it's a lot of tomatoes. I'm happy with it. And I'm tired of being in this dadgum greenhouse. My temperature's down to 118 now from the door. The door's right behind me. The straight sun's 133. Let's go look at the back real quick though, see what the temperature is over there. Okay guys, 102.9 degrees. And that exhaust fan's gonna run until it gets down to 90. I've got this fan blowing in. It's moving some air, it's pollinating my corn. All my corn's doing pretty darn good. You can see, won't be long. I don't think they're quite ready, but I'm getting close. Getting pretty darn close. But I've got all that air just moving through here. And it gets a little still right about here, right where the corn ends. But now some of that air can move across this way through these screens, because I cannot leave the door open. I mean, air will move through it somewhat, but I can't leave it open or I'll really get the cooties in here and the critters will eat everything. Anywho, it's been a pretty good chunk of my Saturday out here cleaning this stuff up, but it was worth it. So, as a person who is learning to garden. Leave the things alone as long as you can. Trust me, it'll pay off. We'll see y'all next time.